I'm gonna make a video on how to replace the starter on a John Deere 6400. The first thing you do is take off the negative cable on the battery, and then I took off the positive cable on the top of the solenoid, and I moved them back over into here and tucked them in there so they're out of the way. I'm not sure if I have to remove the solenoid on the very front of the starter right there yet, but I might have to remove that before the starter will come out. But I'm gonna work on getting the bolts out. There's one underneath the starter and one on the top right of the starter, and they look very difficult. So I'll tell you what I use and how I got them out. So this thing, I took the battery in because it wasn't starting. I took it in to the auto parts store to get it tested, and it was only 250 cranking amps below what it should be. So yeah, it's kind of getting old, but it still should turn the motor over enough to start it. So I was thinking that the starter solenoid is drawing too much amperage and causing the fuel shut off to shut the tractor off. The way I tested that was I tested the positive cable from the battery to the starter, and I got 12.8 volts at the battery, and I got 12.8 volts at the starter terminal, so there was no issue with the cable there. And then I switched over to the bottom, the negative side of the right here, and hooked that up to the ground and to that. And when I cranked it, I was only getting 11 volts. So I'm thinking the solenoid's drawing an excessive amount of amperage and causing it not to start. It'll fire up perfectly when it's warm, but it won't start when it's not warm. I like to get the new starter out and orient it the same way that it's going in the tractor, and that'll kind of show you where the bolt is. It does not look like a very fun spot. It's underneath down the bottom. The top right one shouldn't be too bad, but this one's kind of looks like, you know, it's kind of in the way here. So I don't know really how I'm going to get to that, maybe underneath the tractor, but I'll let you know when I figure that out.